Y'all see something over there? She's done. Hey y'all, welcome to Stivers Homestead. I'm Zach.
And I'm Jen.
And this is Zena. Say hi, Zena.
Hey.
Oh my goodness. So today we are back in the garden. You just gonna stay there the whole time?
Yep.
And hold on to me? We are back in the garden and we are officially filling the beds.
Yay.
Our soil came today, and so now it's time to get these filled up so we can start building more. We also got the greenhouse done, and we're gonna show you it. So stay tuned, we got all kinds of fun stuff for you today. And Zena.
Yep.
So we have actually already gotten all of the herb beds filled. So that was nice, went really quick, and it looks great. So we did amended soil on the bottom, and then on the top, we did compost, which is very aged very well. So, I mean, it's just as good as dirt. But we got every single one filled. Zena, you can't be getting in there, you want to get out. Had a little spillage, been using the tractor. But now, all those are done, so we got the big lawn bed to do. That bed is complete. Man, don't it look good. Now we just got to build 5 more and do the same thing. Whew. What have y'all been doing? Y'all just sitting down, not doing nothing?
all the raking and shoveling while he just gets to ride on the tractor. Y'all saw Wyatt, but nobody took a video of me.
I tell her all the time, throw that thing up and show yourself, and then I'll do the editing. She never puts it up, so there ain't no one to blame. I don't think she did anything.
We did.
I'm just kidding. No, they were a big help. I'm riding old Jolene. We have wheelbarrowed so much dirt in our life and about killed our backs. Then we moved here, I said, no more. No more. I'm going to buy a tractor and we're putting this stuff in there. But you still have to rake it out, and this dirt's a little wet where we've had all that rain, so it's a little heavy, isn't it? Good work, Wyatt. Good work, babe. You were snacking. I saw you. You was over here eating Cheez-Its. All right, so that's all the soil loading that we're gonna do today. Now I've got to move the tractor out of the way, start building more raised beds. Before we do that though, I know I mentioned it, but I didn't explain why. So we have 2 different things. We have amended soil that is basically just really good soil mixed with compost. And then we have straight compost. So I told you that we put the soil on the bottom and the compost on the top. Here's the reason that's the technique we do. When you have the soil on the bottom and the compost on the top, all the worms that are in that soil are gonna pull that compost down. So all the nutrients are feeding into the soil. Instead of if you put the soil on top and the compost on the bottom, it's a little bit harder to have the soil bleed into the compost. It's just the path that we take. It works just fine. And that way you don't have to till everything together. Let the worms do the work. We're trying to do this organic and naturally, right? Let the worms do it. All right, let's talk greenhouse real fast. So the greenhouse is complete. It's much harder putting it back together from what you did at one place and then putting it into here than just building it from scratch. But we got her did, and we changed up a couple things. Okay, the first thing we changed up is the shelving. So we had that shelving too high to here. So if we put anything on this top shelf, it was too close to the plastic and it would burn it up. So we lowered it down about, I don't know, 6-8 inches. And so you can see we have a little bit less of a gap there. We also pulled it off here. So we originally had it all the way attached to our workstation, so you couldn't get into that side. So we pulled that up so we can utilize the entire workstation with Jen and I in here. We're in process of getting some mulch down. And then the biggest thing you'll notice is the raised bed is not in here anymore. So Jen and I have gotten pretty good at the low tunnels on our raised bed to grow over the winter crops. So we decided, you know, since we have that and we have all these raised beds and we already have like 4 low tunnels that we can do, let's not waste this space for another raised bed. Let's use this for things in grow bags that we're wanting to overwinter. So things that maybe wouldn't work well in our zone in the winter, banana plants, things like that, that just wouldn't overwinter. We can pull them in here and then take them back out in the spring and that way we can try to keep those kind of things going. So we just wanted to have that space to be able to put anything that's potted up in here and not take up too much space. But she is back and we are ready to rock. And lastly, before I get back to work, I realized I didn't say this beforehand, but if you're trying to look for soil and you're trying to look for what we got, first off, you want it as black as you can get. The blacker, the better. And then when you're out calling around and asking people, try nurseries first. Nurseries are going to be good. There's going to be some individual places that just sell soil, but you're wanting to get something amended. That is the best that you can get. It's going to have actual soil that has been nutrient up to be black gold on its own. And then you want to get some compost. Compost is going to run you a little cheaper than amended soil will, but that's the two things that you're wanting to be asking when you're trying to find some dirt. Do not get topsoil. Topsoil is more like field dirt. It's going to have grass in it. It's going to be like barely brown, and it's more to like help level out ground. Unless you want to put the time and effort to try to actually get it amended up, you can definitely do that, but you're going to have a lot of grass problems. So stick with amended, compost, blends, such like that, and you'll be looking pretty. Holy y'all, what a day.
It's hard riding on a tractor, ain't it?
It is hard riding on a tractor.
That's a hard life right there.
She ain't gonna let that one go, is she? I told her she could drive it.
I can't feel my arms.
So we got all the beds filled that we already had built, and then we got number 2 built, so that's exciting. We did take most of your all's advice, because y'all know we were going through the what are we going to do for the tractor, because we definitely don't want to have to like build these and then have to top dress them with wheelbarrows every time. So the problem was going too wide on everything was we wouldn't be able to have arches in between the beds. It'd be too far of a distance. So someone suggested, why don't you put 2 close, big gap, 2 close, big gap. That's what we're doing.
Wonderful suggestion, thank you.
It was a great idea. I made it 6 foot. That's big enough for our lawnmower to be able to get in here. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, we're building an entire brand new garden. The least of my worries is what the grass, like this area. We'll mow, but I'm not gonna worry about putting down mulch or gravel or anything like that this year. It's just growing food. But it looks beautiful. Let me turn you around so you can sit. So I know I already showed you, but we have 6, what are those, 4x4 or 5x5?
5x5.
That's right, 5x5 beds, so that's 25 square foot in there. And once we got the soil in it, they look huge. Like if those get full of herbs, it's gonna be amazing. But there's 6 of them. And then we've got these 2. So tell them about these, babe.
These are 4 foot wide and 42 foot long. So they're really long.
Really long. Oh, and that made me think of something. A lot of people commented about the length of these beds. It's really not that bad. It's not going to be like an issue to walk. And the reason that we don't break it, at our last place, we had them chopped up everywhere. That is like a maintenance nightmare. To have a bunch of small beds and a bunch of different pathways, because you're weed eating everything.
And then when you're trying to get the wheelbarrow in, you're like turning and trying to pivot, and it's just a nightmare.
It's like a maze. It's insane. So it's really not that bad. You're gonna walk all the way down one side anyways to harvest and then come back around. So it's cool. If that is something that you've been thinking about, like what size to do, we prefer less beds, more length.
Yes.
If that makes sense. That's just in our opinion the better way to go
most
about it.
food you can grow, and there's 4 of us, so there'll be 4 people. If somebody needs to come around, it's no big deal.
Yeah, normally how Jim and I do it, she'll take one side, I'll take the other, so both sides are getting taken care of anyways. All right, we are back in the house. It's been a long, hot day, and I wanted to show you all what we have, excuse me, started in the house that's about to go to the greenhouse, because we need this area to start other stuff. So it's kind of hard to see with our fun colors. So we have a bunch of peas. So this is gonna be a big pea year. Big pea year. Jen and I want to make sure that we are preserving lots of peas. We love them. We're gonna actually get the peas out and can them. Or freeze dry them, that's an option too. We also have back there a Roselle hibiscus. Our loofahs haven't came up just yet. And then down here, we have a bunch of peppers getting started. So there's a reason we started a few those specifically at this time. Peppers, we usually start about 12 to 14 weeks, right?
Yes.
Before it's before your frost date, because they just take a while to germinate and a while to plant or to grow. Same with the hibiscus, same with the loofah, any kind of gourds. The peas actually could be direct sowed probably about right now. They're a cooler crop. They don't really like the heat and they can handle a little bit of a frost. So we wanted to go ahead and get those started. A lot of people are going to tell you you can't transplant peas. what we do is we put them in one pot that's going to be big enough for us to then just move to the garden. That we've never had an issue with that, but we're also going to be direct sowing because Jen wants about 30 more. Yeah. So we're going to be doing probably one of the 2 beds we've already built and put those peas in there so we can get a good harvest. We'll then rotate them out for green beans in the same spot once it's time for summer crops. I want to give you a shot from our porch so you can kind of see it coming together from a high level. So this is Jen's kitchen garden. And then right here beside us is where the greenhouse, the beds are starting, and the beds are going to keep going all the way to about this tree and shoot over. So all that's garden, greenhouse, kitchen garden, all of it right here, real close to us and easy to get to. So this has been really exciting. The weather has just been absolutely beautiful here. Hopefully you all, wherever you are, starting to get a little break in the winter and having some of these nice sunny days to be able to get out and get your hands dirty. The world's nuts, you know, prices of everything are going out of the roof. You know, you're going to be home more probably just because it's cheaper to do so. So why not take that time and grow some of your own food?
Yeah, you might as well start. And you don't have to do raised beds. I know that can look really daunting and really expensive, especially with the soil. You don't have to do that. Just till up some ground and do it right there. Anywhere in your yard, just grow your own food, especially right now. It's worth it. It's worth the work. It's a lot of work for us right now. It always is this time of year, but when you move to a new place, it's like you're starting over. So you're doing double the work, but the reward is worth it. And keep pushing. The days are long. You're tired. You're hurting at the end of the day, but it's all worth it.
You get that fresh sunburn.
Yeah.
Woo! But y'all keep watching to learn how to grow more of your own food, no matter where you are, if it's a balcony, if it's in a subdivision, or it's on a big piece of property like we have here. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to down below.
We love you.
Until the next one.
Bye.
Bye.